Okay, so day 2, the engine's out, the clutch line, original clutch line's out. Geronimo right now, he's hooking up the banjo bolt to the slave cylinder right now, clutch slave cylinder. So once he does that, I think I have to check my phone again. I think next we're gonna probably start wiring up, or at least just running the conversion harness through the firewall. And then after that, we're gonna have to cut a hole for the shifter, because I wanna put the shifter through the firewall instead of routing it underneath. So we're gonna do that later, and then we're gonna see what happens.
Oh, in some specific way. So this is gonna sit somewhere around here?
Yeah, it's gonna be somewhere. Oh. It's gonna be like, it's kind of gonna be like this.
Okay, wow. All right, so I guess, all right.
All right, here goes nothing.
Alrighty. Different from copper. Copper is a lot easier, or brass. Oh, there it goes. Never mind. Well, that was easy. Ish.
Let's see what happens. I think it goes to the, what's it called? I think it goes to the fuel filter, the fuel pressure regulator. I think that's where it goes. All right, that's all. That doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Oh.
So I think you should do the outside one.
Yeah, this one.
So you're gonna redo the power steering kit now?
Yep, I'm gonna redo the power steering.
What is that, a 50?
Oh, is that twisting? Oh, that's stripping. Oh, dear.
Is it stripping? Is it?
Yeah, it is. That is no good.
But it's not the correct size that you're using then. It's too big. Because it's like a snug fit, man.
Yeah, so there we go, I got it. Woo!
So it's 14
14 for the lower one, for right hand. Well, for right hand drive. I don't know about left hand drive. I don't know. Wow, that came out smooth. That's easy. That was so easy.
I think it's because it's already gunked up all the way.
I mean, yeah, it's probably part of it too, but you know, you never know. Please don't ooze out. Please don't ooze out. Please, you know what?
It's right there.
There's a rag right there. Security rag.
No, use this. There's no more power steering fluid in this thing.
There definitely is, dude.
Look at that. Look at that.
It's still dripping out. It's fine.
No,
I'll just use the rag for now. For now.
Oh my god. You know how much power steering fluid's gonna come out?
Yes. No. Yes.
Okay.
No. Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm using my brain.
Yeah, it's got one up there.
Oh!
Right there. Oh, but don't worry.
Okay. All right, it's coming out.
Okay, cool. That's out of the way. Nice job. And I did remove this bolt, and then there was that other bolt right there. So now all this shindig comes out. No more power steering from Honda. So we got this kit on right here. We ended up using this hose from the original power steering. And then this is the kit from
Hybrid racing.
Okay, so this is a hybrid racing kit right here, and then we ended up using, like I said, the OEM one. I just cut it off and then routed the line, so now this is just mocked up. I still think they gave the wrong thing, dude.
It's upside down, and the fittings don't work where they're supposed to work.
So they give you a fitting like
I don't know why they gave us 2 fittings.
This one's a small one, and it doesn't fit. And then the one that's actually on the pump right now is the one that fits.
Weird. It's so weird.
I don't know. I personally think they didn't give out the correct one, or it's just backwards. Whatever. So what's next?
So next, basically, the last things that we got to do now, before we can throw this engine in, is take off this bracket, and then run the. Oh, we have 3 things: bracket, conversion harness, and cut a hole for the shifter. After that, we can throw the motor in and start wiring everything up.
Alright, so I say.
About time. We already cut the line, so we're there. We're here.
Yeah. So it looks like we gotta get the this weld. There's 4 welds at the top, 3 at the bottom. Yikes! There's a lot of welds, spot welds that you gotta cut off. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so we gotta cut all these off. And these welds right here. Take a drill to it, nice and easy. That disappears. Then he's gonna make a hole somewhere around here for the shifter lines. Oh, that hole might work. What else? Or actually right there. See that little divot right there? Right where the hose is pointing at? Maybe make a hole. I don't know what's on the other side. Oh, I think he has to rewire this ECU thing somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in a bit. Pry bar, man. Huh? I have to ask for a different pry bar.
Yeah, might have to.
Get the freaking welds, but I think I got most of them.
All right, with the mount out of the way, and it's almost time to get ready to put this thing inside the car. So now, as you can see, I already did the fuel rail, and it was a pain in the butt to get the OEM one off because the injectors were seized to the intake manifold. So I basically lost a few gaskets. I think it was 2 gaskets I lost because they were seized to the intake manifold, and I don't know what all that residue is on the top of the intake manifold. But yeah, very difficult to get that off. That took maybe about an hour or 2 to get it off. And then I was worrying about it leaking, but luckily the top gaskets on the injectors were fine, so it's currently not leaking, and it's actually holding the proper pressure that's spraying out of the injector, so that's good. So they're still fine. I have a pair of spare injectors, so I'm going to
these lines are inverted for this car, so you actually need to have the OEM for the top. This hybrid racing connector here.
I see the hole. You see the hole?
What hole?
I mean the hole right there.
Oh, I see it. This goes in for the clutch right here. Turns out there's one longer than the other one, so use the shorter one for your clutch.
Okay, now the engine is in the car. I completely skipped everything by putting this thing in because we had many problems putting this thing in. We struggled a lot, and it was just too much to sit there and go over footage. So we just stopped filming. So I'm going to basically go over the recap in a bit while I take the B18C all the way to Scuba, so that way it can be shipped all the way to California. So stay tuned for that, and I will explain everything on why we skipped all of that progress. All right, welcome back everybody to My Top Films Project Integra. So this is like an intermission in this whole entire K-swap process. The K-swap has been a huge challenge for me actually, and you know, this is one thing that I thought was supposed to be really easy. I thought K-swaps were supposed to be pretty easy, but yeah, they're not so easy. It looks like I'm kind of meeting my maker. So right now in the back I have the old engine, the B18C. We're transporting that to this warehouse, I guess, so that it can be put on a container and then shipped to California to the person who bought it. So yeah, working on the K-swap has been a huge challenge for me. And I'm going to talk about a few things on this way there, because we got like I want to say it's like a 2-hour drive that I have to do right now. So I left my car there, and then I basically come back the next day to actually start working on it. And you know, all is good. You know, we start taking out the engine, me and Geronimo. You guys all know Geronimo. He's been in the videos in the past. We start taking out the engine. Then we come across the gauge, the wiring gauge for the gauge inside the car. We take that out and we trace that back, and we realize, oh man, we can't use the sandwich plate from the B series and put it on the K series. So that was the first problem, and just getting that situated and figuring out what we're going to do with that. So I'm probably going to have to buy a new sandwich plate in order to run the gauge. Also, taking the engine out took us, I want to say, like 2 days. The first day, we didn't have much time the first day, so on Saturday, we dropped the car off, and basically, you know, we pulled the truck up and we're like, hey, we're trying to, you know, do the engine swap. Can we use one of the hoists in the back? And they're like, oh, sorry, you can't use those hoists because those are customer hoists. And I said, oh my God, we came all the way here
with no hoist to get it off the truck. Now we got to go all the way back to Yokohama, pick up the hoist, bring it all the way back, and then we can start pulling the engine. So that's what we basically had to end up doing, was we had to basically go all the way back, get the hoist, come back, and by that time we only had like 2 or 3 hours to actually work on the car, and we're just disconnecting stuff. We started struggling with the rear mount because the O2 sensor wouldn't come out, but eventually we got it somehow. I don't even know how we got it. And then I want to say Sunday is when we pulled the engine. And on Sunday when we pulled the engine, everything was good. We started taking stuff off. We started removing the rear mount. We started doing all this stuff, and everything's going well. You know, everything's going like smooth. Everything's going perfect. And then all of a sudden, we come into an issue. So I brought all my parts and put it in the Integra. That way, when I drive the Integra to the shop, everything's already in the car. I don't got to worry about anything. Everything's already right there for me. Should have did a checklist. So we get there, we get to the point where we're putting everything back in. We start doing the fuel lines for the fuel pressure regulator, and I'm like, okay, we got the fuel rail in, everything's good. Where is the fuel pressure regulator? And I'm like, crap, where is it? It's got to be in the back, right? There's tons of stuff in the back. I'm like, yeah, it's probably in the back somewhere. It's whatever. We just got to take everything out. So we take everything out, and I'm like, crap, it's not in the back of the car. Okay, cool. I'll just call my wife up. She's at home right now. Let me ask. Maybe I left it in my closet somewhere. So I call her, and she's like, no, like it's not in the closet. And like we're on a video call, and she's like literally searching through everything, and I'm like, crap, it's not there. Okay, maybe it's in the storage locker. But then I remembered, I'm like, there's nothing. I didn't leave anything in that locker on purpose, so that way I know that if I ever forgot anything, I wouldn't have to worry because nothing's in that locker. So I said, okay, maybe somebody stole it. So basically at this point, I said to myself, you know what? Somebody stole my fuel pressure regulator, I guess, because it's not in this car. Like, it's not in the car, it's not at my house. I'm freaking out, like I'm mad depressed because like it takes like 6 or 7 days for a fuel pressure regulator to come in from the States. So I'm like beyond frustrated and feeling defeated because we can't continue, like we cannot continue. Then the next day, I want to say it was probably like Tuesday or Wednesday, I get a notification on my email saying, oh yeah, by the way, your fuel pressure regulator has just arrived at your post office. And I'm like, what? I was like, what? So I ordered that thing July 22nd, and it didn't arrive until about, I want to say August 25th, August 26th, 27th, somewhere around there. And I'm like, man, it took like over a month for this thing to arrive. I'm like, are you serious? So I was really bummed, but at the same time, really glad that it actually showed up the day after we actually are about to put the engine in. So that was kind of an annoying thing that happened. And then the next thing that happened, the biggest thing that I think probably costed me the most time, was that basically in order to run an OEM fan belt, an OEM Serpentine belt on the K series, you need an AC compressor. Now a lot of you guys know with right-hand drive cars, there really is no true kit that's being offered right now for the K series to run AC and power steering. Now me, I bought a left-hand drive. I also bought a left-hand drive power steering kit, but I'm somehow managing to make that work by just kind of DIYing it. You know, it's whatever, you can use the same lines. But so we have the compressor already on the engine. The engine's in the car, mind you. And now, actually no, I'm sorry. Before the engine goes in, we try to put the Serpentine belt on. So we put the Serpentine belt on and it doesn't fit. And I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, you just gotta get the tensioner and make it a little bit more loose. So we got the tensioner, made it loose, tried to put the belt back on, didn't go on. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good. Like, a little concerned now, like, cause we're way, like, it's not like it's like right there. It's like way off. And I'm like, I know this is the right belt. And I look at the belt online and I'm like, oh yeah, this belt is it's an Amazon belt, but it's for, you know, it's for an Integra Type R DC5 and it should work, and it's not working. So now I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? So I contacted Honda Twin Cam, basically Fields. I called them up and I said, hey, do you guys have like a Serpentine belt for a DC5? And they're like, yeah, we got one left. I'm like, cool, I'm coming there right now. So I head all the way there. I buy an OEM belt, that actually has like the part number and everything on it. I bought an OEM belt. Come to find out, that also didn't work. So we're gonna continue after the break. The belt wasn't going on, and we had an OEM belt. And at this point, I knew something was wrong, but I wasn't sure exactly what was wrong. So I'm like, okay, the power steering pump, that's OEM. Like all the pulleys, they're all OEM. The belt's OEM. So why isn't it going on? And then Geronimo, he said to me, okay, it's not going on. It's everything that you have from an Integra Type R. And I'm like, it shouldn't matter, you know? Like a K series is a K series, right? Lo and behold, that's not the case. Just because something's K series doesn't mean it's gonna work on all K20As, which is bonkers to me, you know? It's crazy because like I'm so used to B series being like so easy to mix and match parts with, but you can't do that with K series. So, sure enough, the AC compressor that I bought was actually for a Honda Step Wagon, and the pulley on that Honda Step Wagon was just too big, just a little too big for the Serpentine belt to go around it. So I had to buy a Honda Integra Type R DC5 AC compressor. The Step Wagon compressor was only 30 bucks. The Honda Integra DC5 compressor was about 250 bucks. So I'm starting to see why I didn't buy the DC5 one, but it cost me so much time. It cost me so much frustration. I should have just bought it in the first place. So note to all of you guys, if you're ever doing K-swaps, whatever engine you got, buy everything that goes to that engine, because it's not going to mix and match. You just can't mix and match K-series. It's just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just buy everything that you need. So yeah, so now we're at the point where the engine's in, everything's mounted up, slowly starting to get stuff together, pieced together. But honestly, like doing this swap, I learned so much. Would I want to do it again? Probably not. I don't like doing K-swaps anymore because it's just too much of a hassle. But it definitely is an experience, and I'm glad that I'm able to actually do something that I actually wanted to do a long time ago. So that's where I'm going to cut the video here. You guys will probably hear another update soon in the near future about what's going on with the engine. I don't know exactly if it'll start or not. I have yet to do the wiring harness. I didn't even do that yet. And yeah. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.
I hear the pump.
Yeah, I heard it too.
All right.